Hey guys, the new episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is out, entitled The Honeymoon. Last time we had Coulson and Talbot escaping Hydra into a sort of tundra-like setting. Now, Coulson was trying to convince Talbot that he came from the future, and Talbot was actually believing him, but kinda wanted to retire from all this craziness already after, but Coulson told him not to because he can't give up to someone like S.H.I.E.L.D. and has to fight the good fight. Ruby went after them with the machine that they used to teleport them there. But thankfully, Daisy and the others decided to land there and save Coulson and Talbot because they knew they were going to be there because of what Robin told them. Finally, we have Ruby versus Daisy this early on in the episode. Ruby kinda tells Daisy how she has posters of her in her room and whatnot, but says that she doesn't want to be her, she wants to beat her. Deke decided to stay and help Daisy despite her telling him not to do so, and when Daisy was finally able to knock out Ruby somehow, Deke tried to secure her, but he was shot by General S.H.I.E.L.D. This is the first time we saw General S.H.I.E.L.D. out on the field, and she was the one shooting instead of her men, which showed that she still had some of that Hydra training in her. So Deke makes it, but goes back into shock later on in the plane. Mac and Viper had to perform surgery at the lighthouse, because Mac has steady hands and Viper had a bit of S.H.I.E.L.D. medical training. And the reason that Simmons and Fitz aren't the one dealing with this injury is because they've gone AWOL. If you remember last time, Gemma and Yo-Yo broke Fitz out of his cell and they decided to chase a lead themselves. Back in the Hydra base, General S.H.I.E.L.D. tells Ruby that she no longer has control of her again and said that she has to lock her up, and even removed the Daisy Johnson posters from her room. Later on, Von Strucker opened Ruby's door because he remembered seeing General S.H.I.E.L.D. type in her code, and he told Ruby that he figured out the infuser but wanted her to know first. So Ruby faced her mom, and they kinda had this heart-to-heart moment and said that they were each other's weaknesses, but that was before Ruby threw her on the floor and left her. Ruby and the Von Strucker kid escaped the base. Now Fitz, Simmons, and Yo-Yo were in England because they were chasing a hint given by Gideon Malik that a crucial Hydra R&D site was there, and that's where the infuser was. They got into an altercation with Anton Ivanov and the LMDs, and later on Yo-Yo was able to take out Ivanov, which surprisingly deactivated the LMDs. I didn't expect that Ivanov was one with these LMDs because I thought that he was only controlling the ones that looked like himself, so I guess these new LMDs that General S.H.I.E.L.D. made, she made under the command of Ivanov. With that being said, did S.H.I.E.L.D. just lose most of her Hydra agents? Because don't forget that aside from these LMDs, she's really short-handed, aside from the other assistant she had, which we'll talk about later on. So can she make another main body for Anton Ivanov without Ada? Because they said that they couldn't perfect the LMDs without her. And can she sort of get back the structure to get back all the rest of the LMDs under her command, under Ivanov's command again? And another thing you noticed here that Yo-Yo tried using her superpowers, her being quick, her super speed. And I thought about this before, and I thought that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would just ignore this loophole because everything's just fantasy anyway, or science fiction rather. But the super speed of Yo-Yo actually affected her arms because, as Fitz said, her arms are not calibrated, her nerves aren't calibrated to go as fast as her arms are, so they're kinda just malfunctioning and he has to fix that later on. So Fitz and Simmons secure the infuser and they even destroy a crucial part of it so that Ruby or General S.H.I.E.L.D. cannot use it. But Ruby and Von Strucker catch them off guard and force them to fix it. Another interesting event here is that May talked to Coulson because she felt that he's not really trying hard enough to survive given the fact that he easily gave himself up so that they wouldn't blow up the Zephyr about 2 episodes ago. And eventually she said, "I love you," and said, "I thought that would shut you up," when he was just left flabbergasted, standing there staring at nothing, which I thought was kind of funny and sweet at the same time. At the very end, Talbot was able to talk to his wife. Daisy found him a secure line, but S.H.I.E.L.D's assistant, who I was talking about a while ago, or rather her associate, was with his wife. And she and S.H.I.E.L.D. were talking about a contingency plan earlier, and I guess this is it. What she did is make the wife give off that compliant speech Dr. Whitehall used for brainwashing people. So she gave off the spiel perfectly, and Talbot said that he's ready to comply. Talbot is now brainwashed, making this episode, or next episode rather, even more interesting. What kind of chaos can Hydra unleash now that they have Talbot under their control without the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. even knowing? At the very least, he could tell them of the location of their new base. So what do you think of all this? If you like this video, please hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe for more great videos.